move on to. Honestly, it's not really like a crazy article, but the news behind it I thought was interesting. So
Yeah, this next one's pretty interesting. So it comes from, let's see, well, it comes from Game Industry Biz and is Jeffrey Rousseau or something?
yeah, Rousseau.
Jeffrey
That's what I say. I don't know if that's right.
Russo. I think your Russo seems way better. Yeah, Game Industry Biz came out with this article and it's titled Kotaku Editor-in-Chief Exits Due to Parent Company's New Guidance Directive. So Glennon is the editor-in-chief. He resigns after 5 months into sorry, not Jen. I said Jin, didn't I?
He misgendered. Yo, this is crazy.
My bad. My bad.
I'm
Jen
just
Glennon resigns after 5 months into her role while the publication deprioritizes news. What does that even mean?
Oh,
Okay,
you'll
so
find out.
Kotaku,
You'll find out.
yeah. This is like I saw YouTube videos of this and I saw people reacting to it and I was like, dude, I want to read it myself and then give my own opinion. But let's go. Kotaku editor-in-chief Jen Glennon has exited her role after reportedly due to a new editorial direction from GO Media, according to Aftermath. Interesting how Aftermath is now calling out this article because didn't Kotaku lose a couple of writers to Aftermath?
I'm pretty sure, yeah.
Yeah. So this is pretty interesting. So per Glennon's letter of resignation, the parent company, GO Media, mandated that the game's publication focus on game guides and deprioritize news. It's going to shift. Mandated that the game's publication focus. Okay. So this is the letter of resignation. I firmly believe that the decision to invert Kotaku's editorial strategy to deprioritize news in favor of guides is fundamentally misguided given the current infrastructure of the site. This decision is directly contradicted by months of traffic data and shows an astonishing disregard for the livelihoods of the remaining writers and editors who work here. According to a source familiar with the matter, Kotaku staffers are expected to create 50 guides in a total a week. Aftermath notes that the site's landing page area, a space typically home for major stories and breaking news, has been replaced by tips and guides. Glennon was hired back in October 2023, and with her exit, Kotaku lost another editor-in-chief in under a year. Back in August 2023, Patricia Hernandez was reportedly fired following a personnel disagreement.
Oh,
Let me
man.
ask you something. Let me just ask you an open-ended question, dude.
Okay.
Where do you get your tips and guides for video games?
I don't know, Walmart maybe. Drive down to local Walmart, you're just like, hey, where's my gaming guides?
You actually get those?
No,
like still?
No, not still. Back in the day, yeah. But no, not still.
Yeah, but near 2024, if you're struggling right now to get the answers to, like, let's say an open world game like Breath of the Wild, and you're trying to figure out where the time sword is, what do you have to do to get it? What do you do? What's your go-to thing?
I don't know, what time period is this? Is this current day?
This is
Current
day.
Current day. You know, Mike, there's a wonderful website that we post the podcast to on a weekly basis, in video format called YouTube.
Yeah.
So I mean,
yeah, exactly. So I'm pretty sure that's where everybody gets their stuff. Like Call of Duty, what's the best like loadout or whatever, and everything that they have. Like I see so many YouTube shorts of that crap. Like, oh, put on this, put on that, put on that, put on that. Oh, by the way, there's gonna be an update in 2 weeks that nerfs everything, and you got to get another video. It's like a never-ending tips and guides YouTube channel. And I don't know what Kotaku's doing, and I agree with the editor-in-chief that left. It just doesn't make sense. Why would you try to make news articles for tips and tricks and gaming guides? You know?
that's a really interesting take. That like after you said that, that like why would you do that? You're just gonna go to YouTube. Like I would rather see a video than like read an article, especially in 2024. You know?
Yeah, I mean the smart thing to do, like. So where is this? According to a source familiar with the matter, Kotaku staffers are expected to create 50 guides in total a week. Let's assume each staffer has one guide that they have to do.
Yeah.
Why would they not just spend a week at home making a YouTube video on it?
And
why would you write about it and put it on Kotaku?
drive the traffic back to Kotaku. I mean, come on, you can like if you want to script something up, like yeah, sure you can post it to the site, but like just make a video at that point. Now I get it. Now I get it, right? They're journalists, right? They're not video editors.
Yeah.
They don't want to sit there and make videos. I understand that. But I mean, yeah. I mean, I think in today's like current climate, like I said, for guides and stuff like that and tutorials, it would make more sense, like you said, to do it on YouTube. I just think it's crazy that we're talking about 50 guides a week. That just seems like a lot. What do you like? How big do they have to be? I guess it comes into like a thing. Is it like, you know, is it a guide for something that's like, you know, only like 10 steps, or is it like guides for like, you know, whole levels in a game? Like, what are we talking about here?
IGN has like really, really good guides that I think. But IGN doesn't prioritize guides. They used to initially, like tips and tricks in their magazines. They'd have that section all the time. If you remember that back in the day. But IGN in particular, they got it right where each individual, like they'll have a guide that has a bunch of steps, then each step has its own page. That it's kind of like a wiki. You know how like some video games have their own wikis and they give you step-by-step guides on like how to beat a mission or whatever for the campaign level. That's a good idea. I get that. I understand that. But this doesn't like why are you trying to compete with somebody like IGN? Why are you trying to compete with YouTubers that have unlimited time? Like, you know?
Dude, also like I just love when they were talking about like, because she was saying like it directly contradicted by months of traffic data that shows the disregard. It's just like they're going against like the data too, which is just like, are we trying to just undermine this company? Is that the end goal? Is this just the doomsday plan? What's going on here? It just doesn't make sense.
It's going to be sad to say, but it's like when you're in a company that's so big because they have a parent company here, the parent company just basically tells you whatever you have to do, regardless of fundamental data or information. Now, I've been in big companies where the people at the top level are making decisions and they don't understand the product that their employees are producing. It's like you don't understand the product that's being made. Why are you trying to advertise it? You know, it makes no sense of how it's supposed to work. And it's unfortunate because I'm sure the staffers at Kotaku are upset. It's just like I didn't come here to do tips and guides. I came here to like interview developers and learn about the gaming industry.
Do some actual
and try
journalism.
to help the scene. Yeah, like actual journalism. Like what?
I mean,
I would quit immediately. Like probably straight on the dot.
Listen, all I gotta say is Jason Schreier was like one of the like, best journalists in the industry.
Dude,
like
he crushes.
I mean, very polarizing individual, but I really love the work he puts out. But like he left Kotaku. I think this is probably part of the reason was because maybe there was a shift towards stuff like this, and so he was just like, "Oh, there's a better gig at Bloomberg where I have more control. I'm taking it."
Easily.
So
easily.
Yeah. I don't know. Kotaku has never been the same without Jason Schreier. Just put it that way. At least my opinion.
Yeah, you're probably right. I mean, Kotaku's been on the downhill path for a while, and I know a lot of people that really don't like them, and they're very excited that it's just going to cease to exist probably soon because it's like, if you got actual data and information that this ain't going to work and you're still going to go through with it, it's like, okay, so we're just self-sabotaging now.
I mean, literally.
Yeah,
that's all it
like,
is. That's right.
That's like going to the gym and then getting home and having a chocolate cake for dinner. What are you doing? Yeah, what are you doing?
Yeah. Oh, it's crazy stuff. Oh man, I mean, I will say like a lot of Kotaku's like article titles, they like always would get me. I think there's some of them that are funny, and there's some that just like I'm just like, well, I wouldn't read that, like just for the way they word it, kind of thing. So, yeah, it's interesting. I mean, Kotaku's always been an interesting publication, so. I think the fact that they're doing something that like statistically is going to be harmful is just, it kind of makes sense to a certain extent.
Yeah, it's going to be very interesting to see how this all plays out because so many publications have basically started to close down because you and I see it more than I think most people because we're looking at the articles all the time. And I think it's going to be an interesting shakeup this year of what's going to happen. Like what's going to happen to Kotaku? How's the aftermath going to actually pan out? Is the rise or fall of Twitter going to influence things? And YouTube is king, so what's the plan here? Like, how is this going to play out? It's going to be very, very interesting going forward.
Yeah. Very, very interesting. I don't understand it, Mike.
I barely understand